Got it.
Now we officially live at this point. We got the live button in front of everything.
Yeah, man. Everything's everything now. So we're going to get started here in about 5 seconds. We're going to rock and roll. Okay. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. My name is Ro Thompson. Man, we got a special guest in the building tonight. I've known Kenneth for quite some time, and we've been he has a company called Renegade Golf, and he's got some new things that he's doing with the company right now. He was more well known for his golf bags, personalized golf bags. So that's what attracted to me to his product, because I never had a personal golf bag with my name on it. So I have I got my bag ready for this weekend. We got a little tournament, Kenneth. So I'm gonna be showing off the Renegade golf bag this weekend. So just wanted to welcome you to the podcast, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm happy to be here. I've seen a couple of them, so it's good to finally have made it. I feel like I've arrived a little bit. I think I was on the Alliance podcast probably over a year ago. So now it's funny to see things coming full circle, and I think time flies when just meeting so many different people. So excited to get back on the call with you, getting to see you in person a couple months back in Ohio. So it's cool. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So Ohio was good, and good to have you up there at the Memorial Golf Tournament with the Alliance and Dan Sullivan and Workday. Man, that was a great event, man. We were able to raise $30,000 for Wilberforce University.
Yeah, no, and I think that aligns so closely with what Renegade wants eventually to being a part of something like that. We're down in Atlanta. We got Morehouse, we got Clark, we got Spelman, we got Morris Brown. So just seeing Wilberforce be able to do that just gives me so many ideas and what can we do around here? So just wait for some of the things we have coming up, kind of similar to what you all are talking about with Wilberforce, some Morris Brown and some Morehouse stuff. So
that's cool. Right. Well, listen, man, before we get into all the Renegade and the bags and the balls and everything, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to find out how you got in the game of golf.
Yeah, so myself, Kenneth Duncan. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, but I grew up north in Michigan. So Ann Arbor is where I was born. So a lot of my family is all based in that area. So when I visit y'all in Columbus, my mom's actually in Columbus, Ohio. So I grew up north, moved down south for college, graduated from Georgia about 6 years ago now. I've just been in the Atlanta metro area since then. And I've been working in my real full-time job as management consultant. I work for a company called Accenture, doing finance work. And, my buddy and I, one of my best friends from college, his name was Drew McLeod. We had always talked every week or two about different business ventures. I've had 5 different ventures to do step shows on campus. And I was going to do a consulting company at one point and whatnot. And we just talked about business, real estate, and we came across this idea of Renegade. So now I've been an entrepreneur for years and years, but now I'm basically full-time entrepreneur and finance transformation consultant and shifting more towards the entrepreneur route. So it's been a cool journey.
That's good, man. That's good. So how did you get into golf? I mean, did you play in high school? You played in college? How did you get in golf?
So my mom and my dad lived up. They never got married. So my mom was always up north in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, et cetera. My dad was in Georgia. So coming down to Georgia every summer, and I had to do something during the day, summer camp. So I did basketball camp. I was a big basketball player. You did, the tennis camp and stuff like that. But I think one year we started the First Tee program in Atlanta, and that stuck. The First Tee of Atlanta is a really well-known First Tee program in the state. I went there for a camp for a week, enjoyed it, became 2 weeks. And then this is probably about the age of 10. So almost 20 years ago now. And it kind of stuck there, and living in kind of Lakeshore, Wisconsin at the time when I went back home, a lot of my buddies were kind of country club members and they had access to courses and stuff. So we kind of so we just kind of played golf together. Went on a golf trip with my best friend when I was younger. Every summer to go up to northern Wisconsin to play. So it's kind of became a thing that me and my friends did. So I did play high school golf. I got to not like the superstar of the team, but I got to be in a rotation player, one of the guys who got into the 4 or 5 that we played events. Was actually going to potentially go play like low-level college golf, looking at West Point Military Academy. So I thought I was a college golfer at West Point, but signed up for the military. I was like, I don't really want to be a golfer that bad.
Right.
Actually, I emailed Coach Hack at University of Georgia, and I think I still have the email. It's like, hey, Coach, I'm a golfer in high school. I played some Hurricane Junior Golf events. I played some like local Atlanta Junior Golf, not the other AJGA, but the Atlanta Junior Golf Association. Right. And never finished better than like second or third. But I'm like, hey, look, I'm coming in. I love to play golf. What's up? I think his reply was like, have you ever won a AJGA event? I'm like, no. And like, have you ever played a USGA event? I'm like, no. And I think those two questions, he had already weeded me out. He's like, look, the guys we have coming to play at Georgia typically play a national schedule. They play across the country. And that's basically a mini tour in itself. University of Georgia golf is a mini. Yes. I know Lil John played up there a couple of weeks ago. So that was my college golf course. Right. And when I think I was there, it was after Bubba had left, but we had like Hudson Swafford had just left there and Harris English had just left there. Mm-hmm. So, Sepp Straka was there before. So it was like a 4 or 5 tour guys from right after I just got to school there. So serious game. So I played golf growing up, but yeah, it was an eye opener for sure. But yeah, I've been golfing now for about 20 years. My dad does play. So similar to you and Lil John, I beat my dad pretty bad pretty often. So, you don't have to feel bad, but there was a while when he was beating me when I was starting off, and now I've got down to about a 5 or 6 handicap. So it's made it a little easier to beat up on him, but he retire last year, so he might be beating me soon.
Yeah, I don't think. I'd have to catch him on a real bad day to beat him. I haven't had a chance to get a chance to play that much, so I'm riding him around to all his tournaments. So I'm not able to practice as much as I used to. So, but I'm okay with that.
It's the life of a golf parent. I have the luxury of talking to some of the greatest golf parents out. I've been talking to Flo Monso and talking to Corey Guyton and some of these people hearing their stories about how their children. That's how it's kind of supposed to be, and especially you're full-time, you got a full-time job yourself. So if he was still getting beat by you, he wouldn't be the junior golfer we were looking for. So
right, that's correct. Well, man, tell us about Renegade, man. I know the company's been around for a few years. Y'all doing some different things. Bring us up to Renegade 2022.
2022 Renegade. So Renegade started because we wanted to make the game of golf more affordable and accessible for minorities, for millennials, people kind of like myself. We got the game of golf had kind of gotten stale, kind of old. You have the big companies that don't tend to focus on, minority groups or young people. They focus on their bread and butter. It was white males and maybe females who, had money. So we sought out to make the game cheaper. What we learned quickly is that it's hard because manufacturing and running a company is expensive. So we did our first order of bags and we thought we were going to come out the gates, and we spent, probably $20-something thousand off the jump. Never expected that ever. Because you have minimum order quantities and stuff like that. So every year we've grown and matured as a company. I think you started off with our red and black bag. We found out the zippers weren't amazing in that bag. The straps are okay. The legs are okay. So we upgraded the zippers and whatnot. Ran out the next year. Oh, wait, people don't really like this, whatever. We have a new cart bag, stand bag that came out in a cart bag. We just kind of keep improving every single year, adding something different, adding more, while also building our relationships in the golf industry. And this year, kind of being quote unquote year 3 of actually doing business, we've always had the plans to expand to the golf balls as well. Yeah. And our goal is not just to be a one trick golf company. We want to be up there with Titleist, TaylorMade, Ping, everything except for clubs. And if we could do clubs and make money from it, we would. But clubs is a money-making game. Quite frankly, they do it because they have people that sponsor it. So we're going to do everything from golf bags, golf balls, apparel, training equipment, having training academies, Renegade Golf Academies across the country. So that's a long-term plan. And we just kind of released kind of phase 2, which is the golf balls, and it's been a tremendous success so far, and super excited to see that. So
that's good. So we, this is, of course, this is the Junior Golf Podcast. And I know you probably looked into some of the juniors using the ball. How do you feel the juniors can benefit from using the Renegade ball?
So I think that it's a a double-edged question that, because I think there's so many different age ranges of juniors. So I think that the first ball we released is we've had a lot of feedback in comparison that it's similar to like a Pro V1, where like a little bit of a firmer feel, but you can get a lot of spin on it, a lot of distance from it. It's a player's ball. So if you're looking at some of the junior golf players we have who are playing at a super high level and they're playing a Pro V1, it's an amazing alternative to it. No, it's a ball that's going to provide the spin and the feel and the softness that we're looking for at a high level. Unfortunately, with some juniors, depending on the age, they may not quite have that speed that really gives them all the best performance of the ball, just because typically, you want to be swinging, at least in the 80 mile per hour range, preferably 90, 90 is to start seeing the benefits of a Pro V1. Okay. So, I think that it's a split question. I wouldn't say that the ball is perfect for every junior. If you're if you're an 8-year-old who's swinging 65 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour with a driver, this may not be the ball for you yet. But we are working on a couple different releases of balls, maybe a lower spin ball like the AVX Titleist has that might be more of a better fit for younger players that don't generate the club head speed. But if you have somebody who's older, an older guy or an older female who can generate that club head speed and wants that feel and touch and spin, it's an amazing ball, alternative to all of the premium balls in the market that we're using, the Chrome Soft and the Pro V1 and the BRX, the BRXS, et cetera. All of those, just want an asterisk that the swing speed benefits are there when you start to put the spin and the touch and all that different stuff with the ball.
So in other words, when y'all set out to do this ball, y'all wanted this to be a premium ball, so to speak, right?
Yep. So it's a premium ball and a ball that a player's ball. I think that we wanted something that kind of fit in a comfortable space in the marketplace. We priced this ball at about $32 or so a dozen right now, which is it's a comfortable spot in the marketplace. We're not challenging the TP5X right now. A 5-piece ball is for $60, and a Pro V1, et cetera, is going for $55 a dozen. But we definitely don't want to have any comparison to Nitro, Flight, and stuff.
Top Flight, yeah.
So there's got to be a space where people, when they put some respect in our name,
right?
Hey, this ball is a ball that I'll stand behind. Maybe it's not the ball for me per se. This is a ball I can say it's a quality ball. I think the feedback so far, everybody has given it a review or feedback says this is a good ball, a quality ball, great ball for the price. Maybe it doesn't fit my swing personally because of my club head speed, either fast or too slow, but I can tell it's a great ball, and that's the feedback we want to have.
Good. And John's swing, his driver swing speed is about 118 right now. Do you think this ball would be a good fit for him?
I think it's a good fit, but I think at 118, you start to be at this place where you're creating enough spin already by yourself with that club head speed that maybe you want to have a little bit of a lower spin ball with the same distance. So I think that's when you start moving into the X balls. You start like your Pro V1X for Titleist might be, or your Chrome Soft X, because the club head speed is there. So I think that right now we're actually working on, this is kind of the first time we released it anybody. We're working on a 4-piece golf ball right now.
Okay.
And the 4-piece golf ball, there's very few balls in the market that get that 4-piece. There's 3 is very common. 4 is a very select number, your Pro V1X, couples, Chrome Soft X maybe. And then that's kind of an exclusive space where you start to be the ball that you start seeing tour pros play. You start seeing elite juniors play. You start seeing, aspiring tour pros play and people with high swing speeds. And I think that's going to be the place where John falls with the ball. Okay. But you never look at a Pro V1 and say John can play it. Just may not be optimized for that high of a swing speed.
Gotcha.
And we're all about optimizing. It's definitely, this ball can be played by any player at any skill level. We have women that play it now and are playing amazing with it. Men who swing very fast playing well. But definitely looking to have that next ball that really does a lot more of that. I saw a question come in specifically. So we do almost all of our manufacturing in the company overseas. We've had apparel made in the Middle East. We've had bags made in China. The golf ball specifically is sourced from manufactured in Taiwan. Okay. And we work very closely with our Taiwanese developers to kind of figure out the right ball for us to take to market with, figure out the right way to market the ball, the right markings on it. I think on the ball we have the embu as an alignment aid. So we work really closely with our manufacturers to kind of really design the right ball for what we're trying to put into the market. And as far as supply chain, over there, I think that luckily Taiwan's a trade-free zone. So one challenge we ran into earlier with the company was dealing with, the fact that China had high tariffs and whatnot. Taiwan, we don't have as many issues with that, actually. We deal with a very good manufacturer who's manufactured balls for some of the biggest golf companies in the world. And we can get stuff pretty quickly. So we've been lucky in that regard. We've had an amazing addition to our team. An individual used to do sourcing and supply chain with Titleist, is now a part of the Renegade team. So we get so many great insights and learning lessons from somebody who's been in that space, who's designed and worked on the sourcing of the Pro V1, and who worked with Spalding before they were making a lot of balls. So a lot of great insight that we've gotten to our company. So it's been really exciting to have that.
Right, and you have a couple of juniors that's actually using the ball or trying the ball. Tell us about some of the juniors that's actually trying the ball right now.
Yep. So the biggest thing we want to put out, I want to put this on the podcast. So the ball is currently through the process of getting USGA conforming. So when we talk to a lot of juniors, we're like, hey, don't take this to US Kid Worlds and put this in play. Maybe away with it, but we're not yet. And I think that a lot of that's just, it costs money to get USGA conforming, and they have a long review process. But the ball is USGA conforming. We've tested it, and it's going to pass all those tests. But we do have a couple of juniors who we specifically have kind of solicited their feedback on. One of my favorite ones, Ariel Collins, is actually based out of Georgia, and she'll actually be competing at US Kids World as well, coming up in a couple months, or a couple weeks, not months. US Kids World in Pinehurst in a couple weeks. So Ariel, definitely looking to support her long term with the balls, providing her balls as much as she needs it, especially once they get USGA approved and we can start using them in tournaments over and over. Feedback. So having kids that we're actually going to, I don't want to say sponsor, because sponsor almost implies there's some level of reciprocity there with quid pro quo. But I think our goal is to support juniors and maybe take some of that ball cost out of play, especially if you have parents who are paying $50 a dozen for Pro V1s already, and they're going to spend $150, $200 per month on balls.
Yes.
If we can take that expense down, even if we say, hey, it's only going to be $50 a month for you on balls, or I think that's a big burden that can be shifted towards paying for one more tournament per month, for one more entry fee, et cetera. So yeah, exactly. Ariel, now again, Camden's probably one of our favorites. I would love to pick up the phone and call Corey Guyton whenever I can. Love Camden. Like I said, another example where the swing speed may not be at 7, 8 years old. You're not swinging the club fast as a regenerative spin for a Pro V1, but we'll continue to support him with the proceeds from the ball. Maybe the ball is not exactly what we can give yet, but we're actually going to be supporting and doing a sponsorship of the US Kids Golf Black Golf Meetup coming up in a couple weeks. So we're providing every Black golfer at US Kids World with not only Renegade golf balls, and they don't know this yet, so we're providing them with a Renegade swag pack, and I want them to show off what's in it, but I just want them to know that Renegade is going to be supporting them with a swag with this more than one of our products, and kind of say, hey, maybe our ball can't be played by you this week, but maybe you can wear a glove, you can wear a hat, the difference. So I won't give away the whole swag pack, but I think that it's important for us to connect with the kids in a genuine, authentic way, and not in a monetization way. And I remember being, 10, playing junior golf and being walking with my dad and stuff like that, just the experience of doing all that. So I think it's really cool for us to be there with them. But I think as we expand our golf ball program and we bring out that 3 and 4 piece, we're going to be bringing on more golfers inside that 4-piece ball as well, who are playing at an elite level, who play that pro, who kind of have that higher swing speed. That's good. And I think that the motivation to kind of market with the ball, to kind of answer the question, I think that as a company, our slogan is defy the status quo. And I think that there's a lot of golf companies that come out and getting into certain spaces may not have the same barriers to entry as other. I think that, maybe to make apparel, or maybe to make, to coach golf, you can create a t-shirt design and whatnot, and you kind of start to grow there. There are extreme barriers to entry into getting into a full-fledged golf business. And I'm always honest with everybody would say, I don't always love it. It's extremely, extremely expensive. A lot of cash goes into it, a lot of research and design into the ball, into where to source the ball from, the right manufacturer. So I think the motivation was picking the hardest thing, the most impossible looking thing that we as a people haven't done very frequently, and say, I'm going to do it. And that's where we went with the ball, with golf bags. I mean, I know I love Worker Golf. Worker Golf, I think, is one of the best golf bag companies out, period.
Right.
And they bags, so us and Orca are there together doing bags. And now us and Greenwood Golf doing balls. Like, we're in uncharted spaces together doing this thing that African Americans specifically weren't doing a few years ago. So we specifically sought out to do that. And we're going to be one of the first to have a 4-piece ball out, first Black-owned company ever to have a 4-piece ball out. Like, look, like, we can go to a tour now. We can call up a Cameron Champ, or we can have a Wyatt Worthington, or we can have a Harold Varner playing a quality golf ball made by a quality company that doesn't sacrifice performance. And like, it performs like their balls do. Now, of course, we get to the highest level, they start doing R&D and tweaking, and I need a ball that can do this for me. You have the Tiger ball and stuff. We're a few years away from that. But ball that you can put in play and that you can go out and roll out. We're going to continue to hype up this 4-piece ball coming out. So I think it's going to be the ball that all of our elite juniors, we would love to see all of them playing it. Somebody asked me if we were going to ever partner with the AJGA, and I'm like, we could do that, but I also think that I want to partner with all of our elite juniors first and say, like, can we get your feedback, get your insight? Can we get you winning tournaments with this ball? And the AJGA is going to come to us. American Year Golf will say, hey, we have, the top juniors on our tour playing this Renegade ball that is USGA conforming now.
Right.
With it. And they're also, I saw them in your polo too. I got a Renegade polo on now. Like, what's going on here? We kind of be part of it. So that's when we know we kind of made it, when we start doing those rollouts and those brands start reaching out to us.
That's good. And how can a couple of questions for you. How can the parents help get, Renegade out as a household name? Anything that we can do to help?
I think the most genuine way to help is providing that feedback from the junior lens. Even if it's an email to us. Now, when we get reviews on our website, we have a lot of great reviews that say, hey, 5-star, and they're probably from adults. But, when I talked to Corey Guyton, he said, hey, this may not be the ball for Camden yet. It might be a little firm feeling because this, he doesn't swing but 70 miles per hour out the driver. So right. Giving that feedback, maybe there's opportunity for us to go create a 3-piece ball that's softer, a softer feeling ball, or a lower spin ball, like I mentioned before, that appeals for the juniors, maybe age 7 to 11, who aren't at club head speed. But we just need that feedback to see what's the market on that. We're also hoping to come out this year, and I've talked to you about it for a long time, and coming out with a junior golf bag. I think that, to date, we've had golf bags that have been specifically for adults, but coming out with a junior golf bag. And I think that if parents can realize, like, we're trying to connect to the junior space, but it's very difficult to come out with 10 colors of golf bags when you first start. You got an MOQ that says you can do a couple colors, you can do this, whatever. So this support, when we come out with that golf bag and we start trying to reach out to juniors and have them, that really ends up being a huge lifeblood for our company, when we can kind of have viral hits. Like, one day we sold maybe 100 dozen golf balls. Like, that kind of day, selling a couple $1,000s of product allows us to immediately support US Kids Golf, to put down the payments for the junior golf bag, et cetera. So I think it's just that support and feedback, and reaching out, even if you don't buy a product, say, hey, this is what my junior needs. I'm 29 with no kids, so I'm the last person to give you a whole lot of, like, I don't know really what the junior's looking at nowadays. I got to reach out to yourself or Corey or Flo, something like that, to get that. So just staying in contact. I think I'm relatively approachable. I think that, really easy to kind of chat with. So, I mean, I have a lot of conversations. I can't relate to being a parent, but I can relate to being a junior golfer because I was there. I played junior golf coming up, and my dad was amazing to give me all these opportunities. But, this next year, we're trying to really get deeper in the junior golf space with our junior golf bag, with this 4-piece ball that we hope to kind of have some juniors under our, like I said, I don't want to say sponsorship, under our umbrella, who have, the benefit of playing our balls in tournaments and stuff like that. I think that'll make a huge splash.
Right. So anything, do you have anything, any type of discounts for the juniors, so they can actually, maybe try the ball or just kind of see if it kind of fits into their game?
So what we did, so on our site, if you leverage, the JG, we use JGP, Junior Golf Podcast, as a discount code. It actually gives the ability to have free shipping on the golf balls.
Okay.
And the reason why that ends up adding up is because a lot of people, when you go buy the balls, it's $30 a dozen. Then you go add the shipping, and across the country becomes $40. And it's like, The shipping is like, an extra, basically another 30% on top of the order. So we kind of look at that as almost like here's like a 30% off type of deal, almost basically. Free shipping. It's not you're buying your balls like $30. It's like, okay, this is like going to pick it up. We've had a lot of people say this ball is underpriced at what it is. Okay. I mean, definitely have sensitive to market, but I think having that free shipping has made a lot of people's decision to go purchase a golf ball a little bit easier. Like, okay, like now if it's $31 a dozen versus $4, and sometimes shipping, if you're going to California, is $12 or something like that. So I mean, I think that we wanted to do that for anybody listening to this podcast, as a part of this podcast, to say, hey, like, check out these balls, out the extra cost added on. We'll take care of the shipping on our end. We just want you without kind of any encumbrances to say like, whatever. So, for people, that's at least a 20% discount. So I think that the cheapest we can for is like $8. And hopefully when we get that Amazon status, we can start shipping for free with some kind of membership and stuff like that. And we haven't launched it yet, but on this note, in the next day or two, once that discount is active now, a discount code. What's that? JGP, Junior Golf Podcast, JGP. What we'd like to do over the next couple of days is that we're going to actually end up launching a discount that does if you buy a larger portion, a larger amount of balls, you can get them for a discounted price, buy 4 and get the 5th free or something like that. Okay. And what that ends up doing is now we're shipping all those balls for one shipping cost. So you're saving the cost of shipping per ball box. And you end up having, a discount on the last box. So it ends up being like $75 savings on like 4 or 5 dozen balls because you start to save that $8 shipping cost a couple times, et cetera. So 2 things specifically that people on this specific show can see. I see Deron kind of saying he'll buy 3 dozen support, and that is amazing to hear and see. Because every time somebody buys that, the multiplier effect on balls is so much more so than bags. Because like you said, you give away a couple dozen. So even if your junior gets our balls and they try it and they give it away to 2 or 3 friends, their 2 or 3 friends has another friend who has a parent. They all have parents. So now that one sleeve of balls you've given away as a multiplier of maybe, 4 or 5 people. And if you kind of start doing that over time, now we go from, selling, 10 boxes in a day to selling 40 or 50 boxes a day or something, for example. And it scale becomes so much bigger. And you're that much closer to finding somebody who has the influence. So, we need to get you like in, PGA Tour Superstore. So you're always that 1 degree away. So I love whenever people say when they go buy a dozen or so, because they start splitting up and giving a ball or 2 out or a sleeve away. Ends up being a reach of, entire golf groups that get reach and stuff like that by that same individual way. So.
Dope. I like it, man. Appreciate that, man. We appreciate that at the Junior Golf Podcast, passing on discounts to our juniors and parents, because as you know, Kenneth, the game of golf with junior golf is very expensive. Okay. So how can our listeners reach you on social media?
So the best way on social media is at renegade.golf. So renegade.golf there. But I'd also encourage any parents to reach out to us on our email at golfrenegade@gmail.com. So not Renegade Golf, but Golf Renegade. Because being a small business, normally when you're emailing a company, we have a support team, but normally it's me. So I like hearing the feedback and the stories and like, hey, even if it's candidly, hey, we're spending $200 a month on balls, could you maybe send us 2 dozen right now really quickly to try it out? We do stuff like that all the time. I think we love purchases, but we support, we do the high five Fridays.
Yes.
Moving back there, we try to give. So we always we find creative ways to support where we can. Of course, the US Golf Kids Meetup is going to be the thing. We're actually working right now on a sponsorship, on a scholarship program through Renegade, where we kind of help out with hotel costs, flight costs of partying like a Delta, partying at Hilton, then having, the Renegade balls included in that, a bag included in that. And, so now you're basically like you're a fully fledged sponsored player, because now we have that. We're thinking probably for the MAC Champ next year, where any players who get into the MAC Champ can apply for the scholarship. And it'll basically cover like their travel there, some of their room and board, give them golf balls, and then kind of give them the swag. And I think that kind of booster to have what would end up being $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 expense savings when you take your airfare and your stuff out to play can be a game changer for the full year. So So we're working on stuff like that now, and all that basically is funded by sales of our products.
Correct.
So it all comes full circle, and we want to always be a company that stands for like what we get back. So we're not gonna boast about it or talk about it. When we get on here, we like talk about, hey, like we're doing this kind of under the radar thing for U.S. Kids Golf. We're working this scholarship for the MAC Chamber. We supporting a couple players who weren't paying for our balls. We don't put that on the Black Golf Association or the Alliance page because we don't do it for exposure. It's more or less. I have Ariel Collins' parents' phone number. I have Cameron Guyton's parents' phone number. I have the number to a lot of different parents, and that's what I enjoy most. Is just texting Flo Manso and saying, "Hey, how's Victor doing?" The younger brother. How's Victor doing? Like those conversations are pretty exciting, and for me, they make it worthwhile. So we don't do it just to kind of like the pander for sorts. It's really actually fun for me to have those combos. Let's see my guy Maurice. I haven't even talked to Maurice on the phone yet, but we got Kendall up there, so it's cool to kind of go full circle and start to kind of meet those people and have those conversations of people who I look up to because I don't play at the level of your son. He beat me in a tournament a couple of months ago. I love Kendall, so it's cool for me to be in the golf space as an executive, not as a player, but still be able to like kind of give back and be a part of their journey. And just talking to them candidly. I'm probably closer to Kendall's age than your age, so it's cool to have the conversations like that where it's like, yeah, I'm a little older, but like, how much older? She'll be here in 3 or 4 years, looking at the golf space completely differently. So I enjoy that part. So I'd recommend all parents, just email us, reach out. We've had some high school golfers who have asked for golf balls and stuff. Yeah, he said way closer. Yeah, I'm 6 years removed from college, so literally that was years ago. So yeah, the social media is big. We love that, but also email us, make a connection. Like I said, having those parents' phone numbers. Whenever I'm looking for a new bag design, I reach out to Corey Guyton first. Whenever I'm looking for, I'm talking to you about some stuff going to Tournament Southeast and how Johnson affects you. So and building those relationships is key. We're still small enough now where we can have conversations with the parents. Now I can't promise when we get to that next level and we're like, I'm moving bags on my trunk and stuff like that. It was as easy, but right now it's still really fun and nice to have that communication.
That's good, man. One thing that I can say about you is, you're personable. You respond, you communicate, and I think that's big. Even though you run a successful company and Renegade, you've done bags, you've done gloves, you've done hats, you're doing balls, so you're doing a little bit of everything. And I think when you build relationships, building relationships can go a long way. So we appreciate everything that you're doing. What we're going to do right now is we're going to open the lines and see if our listeners we've got some live listeners. We got Darren, we got Maurice, and we just want to see if they have any questions for you at this time. All right. Darren, Mo, any questions for Kenneth?
Hope not. I didn't rehearse them, so.
All right. Go ahead and try now. Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I asked all of mine, Raw.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you, Darren.
Go ahead. I was trying to come off of mute, but you had me muted.
Oh, you good? I got you now. I take good care of my man Mo. Mo is listen. Mo is the guy that takes care of you when you go to tournaments in his town, right, Mo?
Oh yeah, man. But I just appreciate everything, man.
Yes. All right. So Mo, any questions for Kenneth?
No, Kenneth, I was just saying I appreciate everything. I just appreciate the products and everything.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that as well. And I enjoy getting to meet you all. It's almost like little celebrities when you see you when you connect from Facebook and then going from Facebook to real life and meet in person. So the pleasure is mine. Awesome.
Well, Kenneth, man, thank you for agreeing to do this podcast tonight. From us and the Junior Golf Podcast, we want to do everything we can to help you to get the products out, get the balls out, get these juniors using your balls and bags, and do whatever we can to support the brand. So we appreciate everything that you do.
Awesome. I appreciate you as well. I'm sure I'll play with you sometime soon.
Oh yeah, very soon. Okay. All right. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Yo.
What's up?
Well,
Ain't nothing, man. See you got it. You got it. You got